Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to build a skyscraper. Well, a conceptual one anyway. We're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating framework from the DVMS Institute. It's a model that takes the often disconnected, highly chaotic world of enterprise IT and transforms it into a governed, value-driven machine. So, if you've ever felt like your organization's digital operations are running you rather than the other way around, you are in the exact right place. Let's get building.
Look, we've got to start by acknowledging a universal struggle here. Today's enterprise leaders are, quite frankly, drowning in complexity. Think about the sheer volume of cloud adoption, the massive explosion of connected devices, and the rapid deployment of automation. It's created these sprawling digital footprints. And the big problem is, all this incredible technology usually lacks a unifying structure. You've got teams doing great work, but they're doing it in complete silos. And fun fact, some studies suggest this kind of operational disconnect costs enterprises millions of dollars a year in wasted efficiency. So how do we take all that raw technical activity and actually link it to tangible, measurable business value?
Now, what's really interesting about this blueprint is the architecture itself. Notice the three-layered digital value stack we're looking at. Instead of treating the digital enterprise as a messy web of 100 different tools, this model organizes the whole thing into three distinct, interdependent layers. Down at the bottom, we have the intelligent systems, in the middle, the workflow systems, and sitting right on top like a protective dome, the digital value management system, or DVMS. We're about to construct this exact model from the ground up to show you how these layers interlock to create total systemic control.
To get there, here's our game plan. We'll cover the fragmentation problem, pour the intelligence foundation, build the operational backbone, top it off with the governance overlay, and finally, look at how we move from visibility to value.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the fragmentation problem. We need to feel the pain of the current state before we can really appreciate the solution. Picture your own enterprise for a second. Systems multiply, data scatters, visibility drops, teams take action, but they act completely alone. You have interconnected layers, sure, but absolutely no unified structure. You see, the core challenge today isn't about implementation anymore. It's about coherence. When your enterprise operates without that unifying structure, you suffer from what's called a coherence failure. You get massive blind spots. Your technical teams might be closing tickets at record speed, but there's a total disconnect between that busy work and actual business value. And what happens? Executives end up making critical decisions based on dangerous assumptions rather than hard evidence. The result is just ad hoc panic responses to every new threat. We really need to fix this.
Which brings us to Section 2, the intelligence foundation. Time to pour the base.
To solve this fragmentation, we have to start at the bottom. Think of it like pouring the foundation of our skyscraper. You wouldn't build on shifting mud, right? This bottom layer is entirely about discovery and AI systems. It is the ultimate source of operational reality for your enterprise. Its sole purpose is to eliminate uncertainty across your networks by generating continuous, high-fidelity visibility into exactly what is happening in your digital environment, right now, at this very second.
So how do we actually pour this foundation? We bring in the heavy hitters. We're leveraging powerful AI-driven platforms. Think systems like Armis and Anthropic. This layer literally scours your network and identifies everything, especially those invisible, unmanaged assets like IoT devices and operational tech that usually slip right under the radar. It monitors behavior, it detects anomalies in real time, and it surfaces vulnerabilities long before they escalate into full-blown disasters. But, and this is an absolutely crucial point, this layer does not provide governance. It makes zero decisions. It simply ensures that you are no longer operating blindly. It just gives you the raw truth.
Let's move up and see how this builds. Section 3, the operational backbone.
All right, so we've got our solid foundation of truth and visibility. Now we have to frame the house. This middle layer is all about workflow systems. If the foundation is about seeing, the backbone is all about doing. This is where that raw, unfiltered intelligence is transformed into structured, actionable, and repeatable processes. It's the primary integration point for the whole enterprise. This is where governance finally becomes an executable reality.
You're probably already familiar with the platforms living in this layer: ServiceNow, Salesforce, Atlassian. What this backbone does is ingest all that chaotic data bubbling up from the AI and discovery layer, and it normalizes it. So it takes a random, scary-looking IP address risk and connects it to a specific business service or an incident ticket. This layer enforces your policies and your controls. Essentially, it pulls your organization out of ad hoc panic mode and moves you into a state of smooth, repeatable processes by giving real operational context to those raw technical signals.
Now we're heading up to Section 4, the governance overlay, the penthouse perspective.
We made it to the very top of our skyscraper. We are placing the penthouse roof, which is what gives meaning to the entire structure below. This is the Digital Value Management System, or DVMS. Now, I want to be very clear here. DVMS is not just another software tool you buy and install. No way. It is a management system. It's a governance overlay that dictates exactly how operations are structured, how they're measured, and most importantly, how they align to actual business value.
Up here in the penthouse, leadership determines what actually matters. The DVMS establishes your value streams and your performance objectives. It sets the control frameworks. And notice this, it relies entirely on the structured data coming up from the workflow systems, not the raw noise from the basement. It doesn't care about a mere blip on a server. It evaluates those technical metrics strictly as indicators of business outcomes, resilience, and strategic risk. It connects the high-level strategy directly to the execution happening on the floors below. Finally, Section 5, from visibility to value. Let's look at the dynamic flow of data.
A building isn't really alive until the electricity and water are flowing through it, right? The exact same goes for this stack. And this brilliantly illustrates how it all comes together. Imagine the life of a single data point flowing through it. Let's say a weird anomaly detected on an unmanaged IoT device on your factory floor. Step 1. Your intelligence foundation detects it in real time. It's just a raw signal. Step 2, it flows upward into the operational backbone, where it gets enriched, contextualized, and automatically assigned to a workflow for your security team. Step 3, it flows all the way up to the DVMS, where leadership evaluates it not as some technical glitch, but as a specific risk metric against your manufacturing value stream. This beautiful upward flow changes everything. It creates this loop of continuous assurance. Real-time monitoring feeds operational workflows, which continuously feed objective governance evaluation. Risk management literally stops being an isolated function or some periodic stressful audit, and it becomes an inherent breathing capability of your entire operating system.
So the crucial point is right here in this breakdown. Notice how cleanly this stack organizes accountability. The foundation is strictly accountable for visibility and detection. The backbone is strictly accountable for execution and control. And the governance overlay, that's accountable for structure and value alignment. By separating these roles so cleanly, you gain complete traceability. When an issue pops up, you can track it cleanly down the stack. No more finger pointing, just coordinated, enterprise-wide action.
Rick Lemieux, co-founder of the DVMS Institute, really hit the nail on the head in the source material we've been exploring today. He writes, "This is the foundation of a true digital value management system, one that transforms complexity into clarity and enables organizations to deliver sustained digital business value." That right there is the peace of mind that systemic control brings to the table. It's taking a chaotic web of tools and organizing it into a machine that actually serves your strategy.
I'm going to leave you with a thought to chew on as you look at your own organization's digital architecture. Ask yourself honestly, is your risk management a truly integrated system driving clear business value? Or is it just isolated technology panic happening in silos? The three-layered digital value stack proves that complexity doesn't have to mean chaos. By pouring your intelligence foundation, connecting it through your operational backbone, and guiding it all with a DVMS governance overlay, you can finally gain that systemic control. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this framework sparks some structural changes in your own enterprise.